Welcome back. It's the Divine Band 1111. I'm giving you a follow up from yesterday. I had did a reading yesterday, and I'm going to tell you which one it was. And I had pulled some energies during this reading, and I wanted to give you a little better clarification. And when I mentioned the scorpionic energy been out real heavy lately, even in my messages, I take them as messages from spirit. They trying to tell us something, and so they enlighten me, and I'm enlightening you. Uh, the the video was Divine Time, and as I played Divine Bands, and all signs. So this was yesterday, and the energies that was out to help you with this death and rebirth was Selkis, which you can see right here. And so it started before I did the reading on Isis and the seven scorpions. And so when Thoth lent her the scorpions, this is who was with him. Selkis, Circuit, alchemical protection and transmutation. You see the scorpion on his shield, divine help and transforming pores. And I told you somebody had sent death to you. And this shield give you fearless boundaries, and it's a divine shield. You is protected, and also the energy of Neith, primordial weaver and strategy. You have a way out. You are a creator. They try to put you in a box, but you can weave webs, and you can create reality. And so you can master reality, and you stand on your own with the permission of God. Master plan. You always have a way out. Pathfinder, Kamuso, Kunhunso, lunar navigation and healing. Pathfinder, divine time and renewal. That's still part of the death and rebirth energy. So now we're giving you an illustration of it and the protection of the Ankh, man, woman, and child life, and life giving. That's why it's protected, because you carry something that need protection. So it say we are currently in the post retrograde. Wait a minute. Let me go up. Alright, Scorpion energy is really significant. This Lion's Gate. It feels like somber energy, but it's a needed energy, like cleaning of hurt, the healing, but still heavy. That was me typing it in. So when I got the illustration, before I got the illustration, I told them that's how the energy felt. This buck moon. And so we go into details and they say that is such a profound way to put it. The intersection of Scorpio's deep transformative waters with the intense illuminating fire of Lionsgate portal creates a very specific kind of atmospheric pressure. Scorpio doesn't do superficial cleanups. When its energy steps into a portal, which is the Lion's Gate, when the energy steps into a portal meant for manifestation and alignment, it goes straight to the bedrock, the raw, unvarnished truth, the lingering, unspoken grief, the old hurt that has outlived its purpose. It no longer serves holding on to this pain. It's time they trying to help you bury it and rise above it. It feels heavy because transmutation requires weight. Light, breezy energy doesn't break down old armor. It takes that somber, quiet, unflinching Scorpio depth to pull the roots out so real healing can actually take root. It's like the dark soil before the seed breaks through. It's quiet, dense, and feels restricting, but it is actively creating space for expansion because the roots go way down in there. You know, you see a plant and it got to get removed into another pot after it grew. You see that plant grew, but you didn't see how far them roots went in. They need to breathe. It's restricting them from growing. It is heavy work, but like you said, it's necessary energy. It's not a setback, it's the clearing out before the breakthrough. And I was like, so with this full buck moon, um, which peaked July the 29th, act as the bridge and catalyst for this exact energy shift leading into the Lions Gate portal. You know, in order for anything to work, you got to get rid of the old. It's burying the new. You still got hindering. This is a hindrance. When you lay the buck moon symbolism on top of that heavy Scorpio clearing, the whole vibe comes down to vulnerable growth and stripping away old layers, growing new antlers, new buck. You know, the old antlers go, new ones with velvet, silky. You know, that go back to me, primordial creation, reality, master weaver, and strategy. So listen, the buck moon gets its name from young deer growing new antlers in midsummer. When antlers first push out, they are covered in soft, velvety skin. They are extremely tender, sensitive, and vulnerable before they harden into bone. It was a process. You had to go through some things before your skin could get tougher to handle this mission. But you was protected in the meantime. The vibe. You're growing into a larger capacity and stepping into stronger boundaries. But because that growth is fresh, you feel raw and exposed. The heavy somber feeling is just the sensitivity that comes with shedding old armor to build something strong. Keep going back. You're in the right place at the right time. The illumination before the purge. Full moons bring everything out from the dark into the light. The vibe. If Scorpio energy is the deep cleaning crew pulling up the roots, the buck moon is the bright light highlighting where the dirt was hidden in the first place. It forces you to look directly at what hurts, what's outlived its purpose, and what needs to be released so you aren't carrying old baggage through the Lions Gate. Remember, most people are in the 6, we're trying to leave the 6 and go to the 12. 3, maturation and self-mastery. Buck moon energy is inherently about maturing, moving past childish reactions, letting go of old survival mechanisms, and taking ownership of your emotional state. When I said in the last post today, take possessions of your possession because somebody wanted to possess your position and your possessions. It's as, are you ready to handle the higher frequency you're asking for? You know how they say be careful what you ask for. They had to make sure you had to go through the furnace, baby. To step into alignment, you have to outgrow the emotional habits tied to past hurts. The big picture. It feels heavy because you're doing real structural work on yourself. It feel heavy for those who are putting in the work, not those who want to cloak in, the people energy that is trying and giving them more burdens to carry. Because they cowards and can't do it on their own. The picture. It feels heavy because you're doing real structural work on yourself. The buck moon brings the vulnerability of Negro. Scorpio brings the deep emotional shed. The Lions Gate holds space for the upgrade version of you to step through. This is spiritual. That's right now during this Lion Gate portal, we got the 6 planets that's going to align August the 12th. Combining with the 6th planet alignment with the energy of August the 12th, 8/12 could be significant. My grandmother's birthday, versed around my grandmother's birthday, was 12/8, December the 8th. Mine's December the 16th, 8 days later. August the 12th create a massive cosmic bottleneck because the parade of planets is only one part of what is hitting all at once on that exact day. August the 12th is bringing a planetary parade. Jupiter expansion, Mercury, Scorpion energy, rebirth, death of rebirth, Mars aggression, Uranus, Saturn, get your shit together, and Neptune lining up in the pre-dawn sky, arriving directly on the heels of a new moon and a total eclipse in Leo, and the peak of the Parasite meteor shower. When you stack the six planet alignments onto the Scorpio clearing and the Lionsgate energy, here is how those forces weave together. Look at me, still in the making of creating. The parade of six broadening the bandwidth. When six major planets align in a row across the sky, it operates like a massive circuit board. Instead of just one or two planetary conversations happening, you have deep outer planet structure, Saturn and Neptune, sudden breakthrough energy, Uranus, and quick action mind energy, Mars, Mercury, all firing in a single chain. It takes the somber singular dirt removal work of Scorpio and expands it into every corner of your life, mind, momentum, vision, and long-term foundation. It's an amplification that says this isn't just a minor mood shift, this is a total system update, a master reset in your body that's aligned with the planets, with the universe. The solar eclipse factor, forced reset buttons. The alignment reaches its peak right as a total solar eclipse lock in. A solar eclipse temporarily turns off the light of the sun before restoring it, like a switchover. The vibe, eclipse acts as destiny accelerator. If Scorpio is digging up the old hurt and the solar eclipse acts like a sudden trapdoor closing behind you, it's forcibly cut ties with old outdated cycles so you cannot go backwards, you can only move forward. It makes the heavy work feel sudden, inescapable, and undeniably permanent. 3. Mars shift emotional armor and self-protection. Mars, the ruler of Scorpio, shifts into Cancer right alongside this alignment on August 11th, 12th. The vibe, Mars in Cancer is fierce about protecting its inner sanctuary. It explains why the energy feels so somber. Mars here doesn't charge forward with loud noise. It steps back, retreats into the shell, and guards what is sensitive. It forces you to take action based on emotional truth rather than pride or external expectation. The 12th is the climax of this entire window. The planets lining up isn't just a show in the sky, it's the universe locking every piece of the puzzle into alignment. The heaviness you're feeling right now is your spirit building up the exact resistance and strength needed to hold ground when that energy opens up. Because this energy is still powerful. And you have to be mindful and get grounded and get education. You can't go by somebody else's walk because you're going to get lost in the sauce because that messages, that walk was theirs. You had your own part to play. So now with this energy, the trinity of sovereign realization, vision, execution, and protection. You got the vision, the pathfinder, divine timing, renewed water, going through that birth canal again. And now it's time for you to execute it. Death and rebirth. Now you execute it because you're standing on divine shield, sovereignty. Protected because you are a weaver, a master weaver. You got the spirit of the creator gods with you, and you shielded and protected as you go through this labyrinth and this learning navigation and healing. So no, it's not going to be light energy. You're going to feel a little heavy because you shed out with the old and with the new. As long as you don't resist it and you don't get scared and try to hold on to the past that no longer serve you, that these your ancestors helped you and protected you and shielded you from the both end of it. I just wanted to touch bases with, yesterday I supposed to posted this, who helped, but everything divine timing is right now. This is the divine being, Big Ely, Ishtar, checking out in the 39th parallel, Baltimore, Maryland. Here to help you with your ley lines. The new earth needs you. We need you. Like, share, subscribe. If it apply, let it apply. If not, take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. Message. Amen, amen, amen.